One of the key factors that affect the rate of diffusion is surface area. Larger surface areas enable faster diffusion, which is especially important for cells that are involved in rapid absorption processes. However, there is a limitation to cell size due to the relationship between surface area and volume. As a cell's volume increases, its surface area doesn't grow at the same rate. For example, let's compare the sizes of two cubes, one with a side length of 1 cm and the other with a side length of 2 cm. The surface area of the smaller cube with a side length of 1 cm will be 6 cm square, while the larger cube with a side length of 2 cm will have a surface area of 24 cm square. The volume of the smaller cube will be 1 cm cube and the volume of the larger cube will be 8 cm cube. We can use this to compare the surface area to volume ratio. The ratio for the smaller cube is 6:1, and for the larger cube, it is 24:8, which simplifies to 3:1. So, we know that the smaller cube has a higher surface area to volume ratio as compared to the larger cube. This explains that the surface area of an object directly affects the rate of diffusion. A larger surface area allows for more particles to diffuse across the surface at a faster rate, as there is more area available for the diffusion process to occur. In the case of the cubes, although the larger cube has a greater surface area, its volume also increases at a faster rate, which means the surface area to volume ratio decreases as the size of the object increases. This implies that smaller objects, with a higher surface area to volume ratio, tend to have a higher rate of diffusion compared to larger objects. In conclusion, we can say that the cell becomes larger, it becomes more challenging for the cell membrane to effectively diffuse substances in and out due to the reduced surface area relative to volume. This is why many cells remain small to maintain efficient diffusion. As a cell increases in size, its surface area to volume ratio decreases, making the exchange of nutrients and waste less efficient. When considering a cell as a perfect sphere, the surface area represents the total outer layer that interacts with the environment, while the volume determines the internal space required for cellular functions. The formula for surface area is 4 times pi times the radius squared, whereas the formula for volume is 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. Since volume increases at a faster rate than surface area, larger cells have a lower surface area to volume ratio. For example, a cell with a diameter of 10 micrometers has a surface area to volume ratio of approximately 0.6 per micrometer, while a larger cell with a diameter of 20 micrometers has a ratio of about 0.3 per micrometer. This decrease in surface area to volume ratio reduces the cell's ability to absorb nutrients and remove waste efficiently. As a result, most cells remain small or develop elongated shapes to maximize surface area. When cells become too large, they divide to restore a higher surface area to volume ratio, ensuring efficient metabolic function and survival. This shows that when the diameter doubles, the surface area only increases by 4 times, but the volume increases by 8 times. The problem with this is that as the cell gets bigger, the surface area to volume ratio gets smaller. This makes it harder for nutrients to reach all parts of the cell, for waste to be removed, and for materials to move inside the cell, since the distances inside the cell get larger. Now, let's talk about how the surface area of a cell can be enhanced to improve absorption. The shape of the cell plays a significant role in its surface area. For example, cell A may have a larger surface area than cell B, even though both cells have the same volume. This means that the shape can influence how much area is available for absorption. Additionally, the surface area is not only determined by the size of the cell itself but also by the structures that make up the cell's surface. For instance, in the small intestine, the presence of villi greatly increases the surface area. This increase in surface area allows for more efficient diffusion of digested food molecules, making the absorption process much faster and more effective.